What's up, my crew members? My name is Andrew from the Superhero Crew, and welcome to episode 23 of Comic Talk. This is the show where I talk about the comics that I decided to get this week, and today we're talking about Red Hood and the Outlaws number 24 and Wonder Woman number 50. So let's talk. So yeah, guys, we have been on a little bit of a hiatus recently, but Rob has been throwing out X-Corners left and right every week, so I want to thank him for that. But school ended, things were going on, we had to take care of some stuff, so we had a little bit of hiatus with Comic Talk, but we came back strong with Batman, talking about the wedding, the card will be somewhere, and we talked about the Batman number 50 and Catwoman number 1. So, that's a great episode. You guys should check it out. We had a whole discussion on that. But first, you know what? Let's talk about Red Hood and the Outlaws number 24. What happened was I actually kind of missed out. I read Red Hood and the Outlaws 21, missed 22, then read 23. I was able to read 22 online, so I know what happens. But in the last issue, basically, Jason Todd gets all pissy because his father worked with, like, Gotham, like some Gotham criminals. He used to be like one of the henchmen for like Two-Face and the Riddler and Penguin. And what ended up happening was his dad isn't dead, he's in jail because of the Penguin. So obviously Red Hood is kind of mad about that. But we start off with this awesome picture here, and we have, you know, the OG Red Hood and the Outlaws. So we got Starfire and Arsenal in there with new Red Hood and the Outlaws, with Pup and the Creeper. So I'm like, oh, awesome, the Creeper's here, but what's going on? Like, why are they teamed up now? And then they're fighting Cyborg Superman, Bane, Joker, looks like Gorilla Grodd, Sinestro, and Solomon Grundy. And they're like, it's some like movie that Bizarro's watching in the floating base that Bizarro built above Gotham. So why? Like, I love the Creeper, and now it's like, okay, we see him here for 3 pages. That's it. That's all we get. We get nothing else. Why do they keep putting the Creeper in here and then not doing anything with him? I don't get it. And then like Artemis and Creeper know each other, and I'm trying to remember. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, how do they know each other? Are we not going to get anything about that? I doubt we will, but whatever. And then like Starfire and Arsenal were there. It's like, oh, cool to see them. But, and also, I think next month we're supposed to be getting an annual, number 2, Red Hood and the Outlaws Annual 2, which is supposed to be Red Hood and Arsenal team up again. So that's going to be interesting. But we see the Ice Patch, which is like an area of Gotham that Penguin bought because he's kind of like a business mogul now. He's not really a supervillain anymore. And there's an explosion. You know, there's dust and fog everywhere or whatever. Red Hood basically just starts starts beating up Penguin. Then we cut to Artemis trying to break into the floating base, but then Bizarro set it to self-destruct. We cut back to Red Hood, and he takes off his mask, and he's like, you know, you're the reason why my dad is in prison, and I blame you for that. And the Penguin was just like, oh, well, like, what, you know, I don't care about any of this. So then he puts on the helmet, puts a gun to his face, shoots Penguin in the face. And there's a really cool part here where Red Hood goes, I'll let you on this little secret, Cobblepot. I'm my father's son. And then the Penguin says, good on you, kid. He shoots him, and it's like, okay, so now Penguin's dead now. We'll get there. So then Bizarro is with Pup. He's crying. The base is blowing up. We see Artemis goes to Bizarro, and he calls her Red Her, which is what he used to call her when he wasn't, you know, smart and whatever. So, yeah, so he's, I guess, back to his old self, I guess. Red Hood's obviously running from the cops. We see the floating base falling out of the sky. Then obviously Batman's pissed because in the first issue he told Red Hood not to kill in Gotham. Obviously he does. But it does say here, moments ago, point blank, local mogul, critical condition. So is Penguin dead? We don't know. I'm assuming he's not because it says he's in critical condition. We'll have to see. Then Batman suits up, leaves. Awesome issue. Awesome issue. This is a great issue. Like, this really was. I'm loving Red Hood and the Outlaws. Bizarro's back to his old self. The only thing that was disappointing was to see all the old members of Red Hood and the Outlaws and the new members team up, and they had these like weird symbols on them, and it was like, okay, what does that mean? Was it just some movie that Bizarro was watching? What is that all about? Got no idea. Hopefully we get a little context for that, but like, what does that triangle symbol mean? Who knows? We'll have to see. And then the Creeper, like, when are they going to show how Artemis and Creeper know each other? And what happened with that? Are we ever going to see that? I have no idea. But I know Red Hood is supposed to be getting his own book in September, so I'm obviously going to pick it up when that comes out. He's supposed to be getting that, and, you know, and then the next issue, Batman is going to fight Red Hood, so it's pretty awesome. But yeah, this was a great issue. The art's fantastic. There are a couple ups and downs with this series, but overall, it's actually really good. Yeah, this has been a solid series so far, and what I don't exactly know when it'll stop. Like, I don't know, is it going to stop in August, or what's going to happen with that? Because if Red Hood's supposed to be getting his own book in September, then is 25 the last issue, but then we have an annual, so I don't know. Maybe the annual will lead into the Red Hood's own book, but we'll have to see if Red Hood is even getting his own book, because that's what I heard. Not sure about that, but we'll have to see, because then I want to know, then why is Artemis, how does Artemis know the Creeper? I want to know that, like, more in depth, because I love the Creeper. He's one of my favorite obscure characters in DC, and I want to know more about that, but they're not really telling us, and it kind of sucks, but I'm not going to get into that. This was a great issue, 8.5 out of 10. This was a solid issue of Red Hood and the Outlaws. So, let's move on to Wonder Woman number 50. Alright, so Wonder Woman 50 is the anniversary issue. It's an extra-sized anniversary issue. This is the conclusion to the Dark Gods story arc. In the last issue, what happened was Jason, Wonder Woman's brother, turned to the Dark Gods, and he went crazy and started attacking Wonder Woman. But it's all a part of his plan. So, we actually cut to now, where Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman are actually talking about the whole situation, and then we cut to 1 month ago, which is then the Dark Gods thing. And I hate when they do that. Like, instead of doing that, then have that part at the end. You don't have to cut to there, because it kind of spoils what happens at the end, because in the beginning, Wonder Woman and Steve are like, oh, you know, I'm disappointed about what happened with Jason. What happened with Jason? Well, it kind of spoils what happens, but anyway, they basically fight. We keep cutting back, and Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman, they keep talking. They're showing the destruction of the world, because, you know, everybody's getting crazy. Jason is able to punch Wonder Woman and say to the Dark Gods, no, I'll go take care of Wonder Woman. It's like, no, I'm fine. I used the what did he say? He said he managed to trick the senses, because he has the power of the Greek gods, so he used the power of Dolos, god of lies, to trick the Dark Gods. And then they get transported to the Dark Gods' subconscious, where we see the Justice League, because they disappeared. I had no idea what happened, but then I guess they got teleported to their subconscious. Then they're like, okay, now they're vulnerable. Wonder Woman's fighting the Dark Gods. Jason says, oh no, well, how about you absorb my power instead of Wonder Woman? And then they say, then the main Dark God's like, okay. Then they go back into the real world. Jason gets absorbed. The Justice League is out of the subconscious. They're like, oh, well, you know, I don't know what you want us to do. We can't really do anything. And Wonder Woman's obviously upset about what happened with Jason. She tries to attack the Dark Gods. They leave. They don't come back to Earth. Then Steve Trevor has to go on a mission with his group. Then that's pretty much it. Then she just flies away, and she's like, okay, you know, I'll miss everybody that, you know, everybody that that was in my life, and that's pretty much it. So that was Dark Gods. This was a crazy arc because it actually kind of started in issue like 31 or 32. So it's been like 20 issues of this whole thing with the gods and the Greek gods and the new gods and the dark gods and this and that and blah 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 and all these different gods. It's been like a whole arc with that included Jason, because the Wonder Woman movie came out. I kind of got hyped for Wonder Woman, and I picked up that issue of Wonder Woman where her brother came to be and was introduced in that arc. And it's been like a 20-issue arc. It's been pretty insane because you had the whole thing with Grail and Darkseid, baby Darkseid. Then you had adult Darkseid, and then you had the Silver Swan out of nowhere, and then you had now we got the Dark Gods, and it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. 20-issue arc, but honestly, it's been a good run. And I wonder what they're going to do next. Are they going to go back to the Silver Swan because they kind of left you off with a cliffhanger about something that somebody was going to do something with the Silver Swan? But we'll have to see. But this was a really good issue. The art's amazing. Everything about this issue was great. This is a great issue. Great end to this whole big event in the Wonder Woman book that had to do with all these gods, like I said. But yeah, it was pretty good, and I did like this, and it was cool because it was the 50th, issue of Wonder Woman. So okay, let's conclude the Dark Gods story arc in this. Yeah, so a lot of books are actually going to number 50. Wonder Woman, Batman, I believe, like Flash, and a couple of other books are at issue 50 right now this month, so which is pretty cool. So we got a lot of anniversary issues, I guess. But yeah, so Wonder Woman number 50, I guess I give it an 8.5 out of 10. It was really good, really solid ending to this whole event for Wonder Woman. But yeah, 8.5. Alright guys, so that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Wonder Woman and Red Hood and the Outlaws were great this week. This was a solid week, but I don't know if that's the case for the other books that came out this week, because I only obviously picked up 2 books this week. We'll have to see what happens next week with Batman 51, coming back from the wedding issue that was very disappointing. And then we have Spider-Gwen and Brave and the Bold. Both books are ending because Brave and the Bold is a 6-issue mini, so issue 6 is coming out, and then Spider-Gwen is ending after, 30-something issues, so I'm very disappointed about that. It's ending at issue 34, and I'm so upset because I've been reading it for so long now. I've been sticking with it since the first volume before Secret Wars, so that's pretty sad to see that series finally finish up. But we'll have to see how it goes next week. So guys, if you liked the video, please like, got any question, comment down below, and subscribe for more comic-based videos, and I'll see you in the next one.